Hi, I'm Bink. I'm 23 years old, 24 soon. I'm from Thailand and I've been in Manchester for 5 years now, but before I lived in Birmingham. I think I'm very motivated to make work about myself more than any other issues around me. Maybe because I've got a lot to share, and it's not that I want to do work about identity intentionally, but because it's something that I think about a lot. It feels amazing. Very overwhelmed. Yeah, it was like a blur because I don't know whether I felt excited or nervous because my film went last and there was 12 films that were shown that day in the cinema, sort of like a small cinema at home, and over 100 of people that was watching, maybe 200. And because of my film was me, it's me watching me and seeing other people watching me. I just sat like this the whole time and it just felt like I was gonna throw up. I genuinely thought I was gonna go to the toilet and throw up at some point. Personally, I like to give my younger self a hug. I think my younger self wouldn't understand the film if I think my younger self would just laugh at the film rather than trying to understand it. For queer artists to have somewhere to show their work, because there's not a big community. There is, but also not enough for artists. And for me personally, it makes me feel really nice to feel like there's a room for my work. It was coming up to like 10 years of being in England. I started to think in English. That's when I realized, like, wow, this is weird, and I stopped thinking in Thai and I just felt a change in my body. I don't know, it felt like I was a bit lost. And I'm just constantly in between seeing stuff as a Thai person and seeing as an English person when I wasn't born here, but now I have this, I don't know, just the two personality and two perspective. Use the film as a form of bringing what I was feeling into that, as well as putting stories from the difference of growing up there and growing up here. So it was because my mother's visa was no longer sponsored by her former husband. They got divorced in like 2014, but the Home Office people only just looked through her documents and found that he's no longer sponsoring her visa, so she's in trouble because, you know, they say that she shouldn't be here. And so we just wanted to make our application as soon as possible to secure our place in UK, I guess. And it was just not felt like backstabbed by the system, but sort of like rejected very suddenly after being here for so long. Because I heard stories that happened to people since Brexit's been happening, but I just didn't think it would happen to me and my mum because we've been here for so long, but that's not the case at all. Even though people say, but you've been here for so long, like, or my British friend, that's the first thing they'll say to me, like, how can they do this, that you've been here for so long, but they're not hear those stories either. And I think it's important to see more of that stories of people, you know, being rejected by the government. Because in Thailand there are a lot of queer and LGBT people, but it's very divided, and there are a lot, but we don't get accepted into workplace at all. We do, but not as much as, you know, non-queer people or non-gay people. And it's a big division. There's not a community there, even though there are a lot of very openly gay people. When I first came to Manchester, the whole 3 years at uni, I've always had a group of very heterosexual friends, like a lot of them, and it's there's nothing bad with it at all because they're great, but I always felt that I was very different from them in a way. Only just my last year of uni, I met more queer people, and it just felt like it changed my experience of being in Manchester from good to being really good. Not just the experience, but how they make me feel within myself, because, you know, it's just like having people that makes you embrace yourself more than you ever did.